Welcome, ladies, to another episode of Bench Talk, where we dive into stories of resilient international women who overcome difficulties in their life. I'm Vera Svach, transformational coach, energy healer, and spiritual guide. I have created this wonderful community of thriving global women and founded More Life Makeover Club. In each episode, my guest and I are exploring a life-changing moment in their journey where they faced significant challenges. We discuss the actions they took and the mindset shifts they had to make to overcome these difficulties. My vision is to provide you with inspiration, empowerment, and reassurance that no matter what is happening to you in your life right now, you can overcome it, you can do it. And moreover, you can come out from it wiser and stronger. And right now, it is my honor to welcome a really great guest, Daria Oshry.
Hi.
Hello. Before I tell something about you, I want you to really dive into this energy, into this interview. And I'm very happy that you are here.
Same here, thank you. And I mean, your introduction was already so much energetic and powerful, so I'm into it.
Perfect. Daria is a thriving, busy corporate manager. I sense her as an outstanding and confident woman who has been moving around the world a lot. I really appreciate her for the openness and active approach to all the challenges and all the opportunities that come to her life. Now she works for a company called OMS, Online Media Solutions, already for 7 years. And now she's based in Berlin with her husband and 2 wonderful kids. One of them is in kindergarten together with our little daughter. That's how we got to know each other. Daria is originally Russian, but from the age of 9, she has been living in Czech Republic. That's how she surprised me. And when we met, she started to talk Czech with me. It was like, what?
I thought it would be a nice icebreaker, just to surprise you there.
It was amazing. But already at the age of 17, she started to go abroad, study abroad, and since then, she's moving. Yeah. We will get to it. What I sense from you are 3 topics. First of it is that Daria has always been very clear about her vision of career and the life, really dedicated towards her career. Second is that her biggest career growth, the peak, was done while raising 2 kids.
Yes.
Older one is 5 and the little one is not even 1 year.
Yes.
That's fascinating. And the third is that she has been following her husband, who is from Israel, since the moment they met.
Yes.
For various reasons. We'll get to it. And in these 3 topics, when I explored your life and really felt your story, I found very important points where you had to make difficult choices based on the life that you really want. So, first of all, can you wrap up the story, how you got from Moscow to Berlin?
Yes.
And to you, dear listeners and viewers, please listen. Because in Daria's words, there are messages that you can really get to understand why she did these choices and maybe what helped her.
Yeah, well, so thank you so much for this introduction. So I'll start from my childhood. So basically when I was 9 years old, my parents decided to move from Russia to Czech Republic. And basically it was also a very, I would say, different model of family to what we experience these days. And especially it was extremely extraordinary back then, in late 90s, that basically when we moved to Czech Republic, my father was continuing to work in Russia. And then my mom and and us, me and my sister, were in Czech Republic. So basically he has done 2 weeks working, 2 weeks with us. And already then, being a child, I was brought up with like an idea that a partnership or like, you know, your marriage, it doesn't have to be, you know, always like hand in hand, waking up every morning. And actually my mom, being a very wise woman, she has done kind of, you know, rituals when my dad would arrive. So we would know in advance, and then, you know, we would clean the house, we would prepare the dinner, we will go all together, meet him in the airport. And then these 2 weeks that we had together was really about the quality of time together, you know, because he didn't have to work, so he would pick us up, he would drop us to different after classes activities, and for the weekends he would be there totally for us. So also when I was a child, I had like very different representation of the normal family, or what is norm, and basically, so when I was growing up and being like in school, and I was always questioning myself, so what should I do? And I was a very ambitious child, although I was very bad in school. I mean, I was really like the naughtiest girl in school. You know, if there was any trouble, they would knew exactly who has done it. So I was really a bad student at school. But I mean, I would still think that, you know, I would have my career. And the age of 16, I think, I came up with a proposal to my father saying like, okay, I want an international career. I've checked choices. Here is how much it would cost in Barcelona. This is how much it will cost in England. So I prepared him different options and basically different budgets for those options. And then I kind of also told him everything what I need to do in order to get to the university, what kind of foundation course, where do I need to pass my English, and all of this stuff. So I really researched, and I really felt like I really wanted to be an international person and moving around, and I couldn't be dependent on my husband if I will meet someone, if I will not meet someone. I have just to take it in my initiative in my hands and just do something with my life. And so then so the budget was approved for United Kingdom by my father, and I moved to England to study international management, which was like a win for me, because basically international management already has a keyword in itself of what I wanted to do. And also all of the people who were surrounding me, they were so ambitious and they were so motivated. And so suddenly, out of the person who has never been extremely good in school, I became a very dedicated student, because I knew that, okay, if that was kind of preparation, I didn't really have to invest so much time in it. So there in university, I really need to, do my best, and because based on this will really depend my career in the future. And already being like a second-year student, I went to Rolls-Royce, making the internship there, got accepted, and after that, after finishing a degree, there was kind of a very unfortunate, or maybe fortunate for me, I don't know, coincidence that back then, basically, for all of the international students, United Kingdom has closed the working permit visas, so I couldn't stay and work there. And I said, okay, I'm being Russian. I was brought up all my life outside of Russia. So what is it actually Russia? What kind of, I don't know, animal food is it? What kind of, what is it? And I had it so much deep inside me that something that, I had to understand and close in before I move forward. And it was actually a very good coincidence, because back then Russia was really opening for foreign investment, for many international companies would be coming in, and I had really a very good opportunity to come as a Russian, explore Russia, which I didn't know, and basically already come a very high profile, because back then they needed someone with a Western mind, with good English and stuff like that. And so then I went to Russia, following basically my incentive of really understanding what is it my country. And then I met my husband, who is an Israeli. So he doesn't speak Russian, and we met. It was his second day after he just landed to Moscow. So yeah, so I met him really like fresh in Russia, and he was supposed to stay like for half a year or something like this, and his project got closed, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks after we met, which is obviously nothing. And you know, the perspectives were very, very vague, because I had an amazing career. I was working in one company, then they had hunted me to another company, offering me higher salaries, better compensation in everything. And you know, I was like, you know, there on the go, finally, you know, everything what I have been, you know, studying and looking forward to, okay, I've got it here now. And you know, I'm being promoted and again promoted, and I mean, the success in terms of the career is there. And then I meet someone who completely, I mean, you know, shakes me off the ground in terms of like, this was not part of the plan, and what do I do with it now? And it was, you know, very kind of turning moment for me. And I think that the best decision back then was not to make any decision, you know, just to let it go. I mean, and just see where it will take us. And then I went to visit to Israel, then he came, and then, you know, we wouldn't call it anyhow, like dating or, you know, something like, you know, we would just see each other. And then after a while, you know, first of all, already had this, remember, a formula of the relationship, that it's fine not to live with each other. And it's fine, you know, not to wake up every morning together. So I already was kind of mentally prepared from the childhood that it could work. And so we've done it for 2 years, long distance relationship, seeing each other every, I would say, 3 weeks. And then it's, you know, came to an understanding that we have to make a decision. It's or he moves to Russia, or I go to Israel. And then it's, I don't know, for me, the decision was very clear, because him moving to Russia, it means that he will have to adjust to a language, to a culture which is, you know, very, very different. And basically, on top of my career, there would be a very big responsibility on me on basically onboarding a new person to a new country, to new realities. And then I thought, like, you know, I remember that very, very good, there was a moment when I stayed late at work, and I'm like looking around, and I see all these women who are like, you know, my manager, who is like, you know, on the very bad terms with her husband, and she's all the time shouting at him, like when she's you know, staying late, and she barely sees her kids, and she all the time, you know, irritated and stressed, and I'm like, okay, well, this is exactly what is waiting for me. I mean, you know, just to take off all of the pink glasses, if I will say no to opportunity to move after someone who I really love and someone who I've got feelings, I mean, this is, all of the perspective is there. And I remember I was sitting at 8 o'clock in the evening in the office, and I'm like, well, this is kind of sad perspective, you know. If it's in terms of title, you know, I had no doubt that sooner or later I will get there. If I want to get, you know, by the cost of having not healthier relationship and, you know, not being there with my kids. So I decided that it's not something that I want to pursue, and I kind of confidently took the decision of following my husband to Israel, which was, again, you know, I don't think that I fully understood what would it mean for me. I mean, you know, because I thought, listen, I speak English, you know, I have got such an amazing degree, I've got such an amazing experience in the corporate. I mean, you know, it's going to be like peanuts for me to get a job. So I land in Israel, and I understand that without Hebrew, there are no career opportunities for me, except of working maybe in some support, you know, cold phones. And that actually all of the companies which I knew are not there. Just because I was working in the consumer business, and Israel is a very, very small market with quite small budgets for marketing on the consumer goods. So nothing what I knew, none of the companies which I knew, nothing what I would pitch myself to was even existing there. So I found myself being in Jerusalem, which is, very, very not international city, not open-minded to different cultures, not speaking Hebrew, and not even knowing where to start. I'm here with my husband, or my future husband. Back then we weren't even husband and wife. What do I do? So I understood that, I have to drop off everything, and I have to start learning the language, and actually with these hard-working skills which I already had, working full-time from the morning till the evening, it was kind of very easy slide for me, So I would go to courses from 8 to 1, and then I would come home, have lunch, and then from 2 to 6 I would be continuing studying, because I really took it as my full-time job. After a year I could speak more or less fluently, and after a year I got my job in marketing. And then it was some very, very small company, and I just knew that I needed to get somehow to high tech, because high tech is the biggest market in Israel, and if you're not in the high tech, so your opportunities are quite slim. So I kind of found some way to the digital marketing to some small company, and then I was fired after 9 months for not performing well. For me, for someone who was go-getter, to get a slap on the face and being fired was something, it shook my ground completely. And here I definitely have to say that my husband was very supportive. I remember that we went to celebrate that they fired me to the most expensive restaurant in Tel Aviv. And I was there sitting, crying. And he's like, don't worry, have some more chandon, don't worry. So it was really ridiculous, but he was so actually supportive of me. He was like, don't worry, even if it will take half a year, or 2 years to find a job, there is no pressure, everything is good, So it actually gave me kind of confidence that that I don't need to jump on every single opportunity. And then after that, probably 2 months, not even, I got a job proposal for a company where I'm still employed now. A job proposal for quite junior role, but I said okay, I just need a foot into the door into this industry. And so within 7 years, basically, I went from the most junior role to the vice president of this company. But again, because I already had this previous experience, it took me much shorter time to get to the high level positions. And then, I'm there established. My career is finally going back on track. I speak Hebrew fluently. I have, fully kind of got, myself confident in the country. And then my husband comes around and said, what do you say about moving to Berlin? I'm like, sorry? I just did it. I just climbed the Everest. What do you mean? And then, we had to weigh a lot of pros and cons. Obviously I could not already put myself into my interests only, because we already had our daughter back then, who was, I think, 1 year old. Okay. So we had to kind of understand what would be pros of moving, what would be pros of staying. And after actually thinking about all of the scenarios, we made a decision, yes, that it would be good for us to move to Berlin. I was 100% sure that when my company will say, okay, well, you're leaving, you made your choice, good luck. So I'm sitting there in my manager, all nervous, with my hands sweating, saying, listen, I've got a short conversation with you. There's life conditions, and we're moving to Berlin, and it's final decision. And and he just tells me, like, as if I told him that, something very insignificant, like, do you mind if I take off day on Friday? He's like, yeah, don't worry, you'll work remotely. And I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, like, can I actually keep my job? He's like, just continue working remotely. You'll come like once in 2 months to Israel, and then we can keep on going. So I leave this office, completely shocked, saying, it's like texting my husband, listen, it looks like I'm still employed and we are moving although that you are moving to relocation to Berlin, I'm coming, like, as someone who can actually, continue working. So we moved to Berlin, and we moved in COVID time, so everything was closed, and, no social life, and integration also was very kind of rough. I kind of became a one-man show representing our company in Europe, and really took the most out of it. So if we have clients in Paris, so they will be like, okay, Daria, can you please do like morning there and coming back in the evening? Can you? Because I'm here, so also the opportunities of the company went much wider for building the relationships. And then we have another child. And it's just been basically 6 months since I'm back working, and and it's a lot on the plate for having a career and living abroad and having 2 small kids who are really dependent on you. But I think that in the end, I really believe that I've done my best right for partnership. And I really feel that now, being just 2 of us here, like very isolated, and like, no parents, no one to help us, no siblings. We're just doing fine, just because we have got each other, and the fact that all of my stakes went on him rather than sticking to a career. And then the fact that, and at some crossroad, I chose love, I think that actually made me went even further with my career.
Oh my God. It's like incredible journey. Thank you for sharing it with us. I believe that it's very important that you could have heard this whole story. And I know the story, and we were also exchanging voicemails with Daria in order to prepare. And I have sensed several critical, important points in your story. Let me share them. You can say what you think. The main theme that Daria is bringing here, and I would like to open this and also open this topic within you, all of you, and that is the sacrifice or not sacrifice. Because that is a choice. Sometimes we feel like, oh my God, we are like victims of the circumstances and life is happening to us, forgetting that we are creating the life by our choices, by the thoughts that we choose. And you chose not to sacrifice your career or your motherhood, your dreams. And I'm sensing really big strength and determination. You called it ambition, but I somehow feel that ambition is a word that doesn't make good to women. To name a woman ambitious is like, oh, she's ambitious, she needs to sacrifice, or she's not a good mother and stuff, especially in our Slavic culture. Yeah. So I love to use word determination, determined, following, pursuing her dreams. Then I feel really unbelievably positive attitude of taking life as it comes, because we can prepare and we can really shelter our career, as it happened to you in Moscow and then in Israel, but then life comes, saying hello, maybe there's something more for you or something different, and really shakes everything up. So that what I really admire with you, that you take the life as it comes. Okay, this came, so what can I do with it? Do I want it or not? And there's also the not sacrificing attitude. Yeah,
I just want to kind of build up on that. Is that we all want to plan, and we want to think, okay, what do I need to do in order to get there? Or we want to plan, okay, I will have in 2 years I will have a child. We all the time are busy planning. But at the same time, we don't even have like so rich imagination how life has, or like how destiny has. I mean, you can plan whatever you want, and then the destiny or like the life, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, like coincidence, things happens, and then it will just like mix everything up. And maybe it's even much better way than you could have even, I mean, imagine in your pinkiest dreams. So I think that also kind of being flexible and like letting your life to happen and like being open for those opportunities is actually a very valuable skill, because you know you can be very stuck on something which you see as a plan, and then there is like, you know, your life is knocking on the door and saying like, listen, I've got like a shortcut here and then like a huge jump here prepared for you. And then you'll be like, oh, no. I've got a plan. I mean, don't mess in my plans. So I think this is what also is very important, is kind of, you know, yes, have plans, obviously, crucial, but like have all of the options open.
Yeah. How it will evolve, we can be more flexible in it, you know?
And you know, moreover, I can remember like, you know, when I was pregnant with the first child, I told to my husband, you understand that I'm not coming back to work, right? I mean, why? Because my mom was a housewife. This was in my head all my life, you know, okay, mom is at home doing kids, and then my life shows me that not only that you can go back to work, you can get promoted, you can get to incredible places. So having this in mind, you know, so I said like, okay, well, you know, I might go back to work. I'm keeping my, you know, options open. And then once I went back to work, like, you know, I got like so many like great things, and I actually discovered that I can combine them all, that I don't have to be a house mom, because I've got so much energy in me that I can do and this and that and that and that and that. And in the end, you know, have even more kind of the quality time rather than quantity time with my kids. Yeah.
It's very important, the quality over the quantity.
Yes.
And that brings me to the third point that I'm really sensing strongly, is that you have extremely positive attitude to accept the new possibilities and changes.
Yes.
Yeah, not to have this vision, but we have some drive, some vision.
Yes.
But at the same time, like having a neck, you know, being able to turn the head, staying a bit more relaxed and open-minded in that present moment, to being able to see, you know, oh, maybe that, you know, and you explore that. When I was listening to your audio messages, I really loved one thing, and I want you guys to hear it too. I asked Daria, what was the difficult moment, you know, did you have doubt or something, you know, trying to explore something which is, you know, heavy energy or something. And she was like, I don't know, I'm not used to look at things from this angle. I actually don't know. I would open some reality that you really don't know. And it is so inspiring, because many women are in the doubts and fears and self-doubts and, you know, not knowing, don't daring. And you are like, I'm not used to, you know, thinking about these things.
Yeah.
So where does this come from? Do you think your whole life journey, this, you know, a lightness that I sense from you, new challenge, I can do it, you know?
I think that it more comes from the approach, what I can do, rather than what life can do to me. And I always, and it's kind of my, you know, my motto in a way, that I'll always do my best what I could do at this point in time. And if I didn't succeed, it was not because of me. It was because of the coincidence, and then it's also much easier for me than to take these failures, you know, because even when I got fired, for example, you know, I was working really hard, but I was just not succeeding. If I go back and put myself in grade on the effort which I have done, it would be 10 out of 10. But just the work environment, I don't know, the corporate culture, the tasks which I was making were not really for me. So and I think that, you know, everything what I do, you know, I try to do like, okay, do whatever you can, the best, what depends on you, and then just let it go, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
And this is why, you know, maybe it doesn't really bring me to dark times, because I knew that I've done my best, and I knew that, like, I just couldn't do any more than what, you know, maybe if there would be like, oh, I should have said, I should have done, I should have checked, you know, maybe it would bring me to kind of, you know, emotional down. But because I'm giving myself, you know, a high grade, and I really feel that I've maximized the opportunity. So, I mean,
I love that. Give yourself a high grade, please.
No, but be true with yourself that you've done the best. No, just giving high grade is, you know, something different. But being true with yourself. Have I done the best? Could I have done anything more when I was in those shoes?
Yeah.
And then based on this answer, you know.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. That's really good. Like, do your best, and then
what's dependent on you.
Yeah.
What's
then
on
take
your
it like, yeah, I did really, and that moment,
Yes.
and I believe that we are doing always the best that we can at that moment, because sometimes we don't know what we can do better.
Exactly.
You know,
and
like,
I think that it's the same comes to the motherhood.
of course.
You know, if I would, I mean, first of all, you know, they say that no matter how mom is good, the child would always have to share something with the psychologist when they're a teenager. Or when they're, you know.
I love that too.
So it doesn't matter.
No matter what, there will be always something that the kids will need. Like, Mom, you know, you did this. I'm like, really?
You've done like 150% of your capabilities, and they're like, but you didn't buy me these jeans, and you'll be like, listen, you know, so I think that it also comes to the motherhood that, you know, if I'm doing my best now at this moment in time, I'm saying yes. You know, I'm doing maximum quality time with my kids. I'm all the time, you know, thinking of the things, how to develop them, how to read them, and how to read to them, what to read to them, how to play games, which games, where to go. And I mean, I'm there 100%. Yeah. But if she will have or he will have any complaints, maybe, but I've done my best.
That's nice. I like that. Yeah, I like that very much. And I would like to share with you that I know Daria's daughter, Daniela, and she was also here at our place with the class trip of Kita. We had like an outing, and I remember, I didn't know you then, and I remember how Daniela was standing out as a happy and confident girl. And I was like, who is this? You know, whose child it is? That it was so nice to see, like, a huge smile. She has a really big smile, and posing for the group photos, being so, like, centered, confident, and really happy about herself. And I want this to be said because many women that I work with are doubting themselves, like, no, I should be there more for the kids, you know, so they are better. And I believe that when you as a mom, or you're doing it, do your best, you're happy, you know your way, it doesn't matter if you spend huge amount of time with the child, or you're sheltering the child, walking, you know, hand in hand, like helicoptering the child. The energy, the vision, it just transferred to the child. Yeah. And I had a vision like your child, you know, like your children, I'm sure both, like shining in their life, being so confident without these inner doubts. So I really want this to be said, that your daughter is just so amazing as you are, and very happy and really like healthy person.
Thank you. Yeah. And I want to say in relation to that you know, there is a proverb which says that the difference between medication and the poison is the dosage. And it's the same, I think, regards to, you know, your time spent only at work 100% and having only that aspect is poisonous. Yeah. You know, you being only 100% there with the kids and not having any time for yourself, for, you know, for your partner, for your hobbies is poisonous. So, I mean, and I think that the secret is actually, you know, to find this balance. And I know that, you know, it sounds very vague and it sounds very kind of stigma, of like, find your balance, what does it mean to find your balance? But, for every single person, their balance is something, their own, and whatever makes you happy and whatever really makes you feel like fulfilled and with a lot of energy. And I remember I've got some of my colleagues have got like 3 or 4 kids, and then every Monday when we meet for a call, and I'm like, so how was your weekend? They're like, we're tired. I mean, and it's fine. And I think that, we're all human beings. You can't just like, after a long weekend, 3 days, non-stop, with kids. Yes, you are begging sometimes, for yourself, quiet, and, and this what actually makes you happy, having these different elements and being able to jungle around with them. I think that, and also for kids, I think for my daughter to see her mom happy and busy, but at the same time being there for her when she needs me, and being a good role model, like positive role model for her. I think for me it's like one of the most important things what mom can do.
Yeah.
Really be a role model for her, that she would be proud of me, that she would look up to me, that she will advise with me, that she will see that I'm bringing some value to her, to the world around, gaining her recognition. And the more older she will grow, the more difficult it will be to get her recognition.
Yeah.
So I think that it's vitally important that also your kids will look up to you and be like, my mom is cool, I want to be like my mom.
Yeah. I liked it very much. Thank you for sharing. And I wanted also to maybe explore more the career choices that you made, like how to adjust your career when you're moving, relocating. But I feel that we covered that from your story a lot, that you really showed us. That's why I really let you talk and explain. So please take from Daria's story what you need for yourself. Maybe listen to it again, what were the challenges, like when she got fired, when she had an amazing career and her husband was like, well, maybe, let's go to live in Israel. When she came there and she didn't know the language, took a year to learn the language, there's a lot in your story that can help our viewers and listeners to really explore their career options. But I want to ask you, last question, what nurtures you? What gives you energy? When do you have time for yourself? What do you do? Because you shared it with us, it's important, that we are nurtured, fulfilled, rested. What do you do to be this energetic and have so much, really this good vibe for family and for work?
I think that I just enjoy everything, to be honest. Like, I really enjoy my work.
So you do what you enjoy, that's also important.
I mean, yes, I really enjoy working. And it really brings me satisfaction, Anything that you do yesterday can already have results and reflection on today. So I'm like, sometimes, in the morning, I'm just running to the computer. I'm like, did this work? Is this? I mean, so that already gives me, interest and motivation. Also, in terms of, I think that in terms of my partnership, we really make sure that we go out with my husband for a date at least like once in 2 weeks.
So you have a babysitter to help you manage all, yeah?
Yes, and this is, I think, is really, really critical. To have some time with yourself, like to feel energy of each other, because in this routine of job, kids, bath of kids,
parents
morning,
and caregivers.
It's just you're just like washing away the personality and the feelings of each other, and then I think this routine just eats out all of the it eats out very very steadily. So like, it's not that like, okay, here is the border and then it's bad relationship. It's just like, very, very, with a very slow pace, you're just like kind of, I think, getting further from each other in case if you don't have some quality time together. So that really motivates me, and definitely having quality time with my kids, having some walks with my older, and reading her books and discussing about them and hearing her very, very funny stories. I mean, she is so funny. She would she will tell, and she would just make up things, and I'm like, wow. And and then what happened after? And then I would just, all the time will bring a fire to her story. So she would make it like very, very convincing. And like also, being with the small one who's still like so small, and really be able to enjoy from his, very soft skin, and his this very need of mom. And I think that in every single kind of this jar of my life or role or mask which I'm wearing, I really find something inspiring, what will really keep me moving forward.
Yeah, I also feel that you keep in your life things that you like.
Yes,
it's also important. If you have something that is dragging you down, people that takes your energy away from you, just like allow yourself to dissolve that. That's again the theme of sacrificing. Don't sacrifice yourself for things you don't like or people that are dragging you down.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. And yesterday I was on the train from Hamburg, and I was listening to podcasts where and there's people who are taking your energy, and like you should block them. And I'm like, who are they? I mean, I don't even have any on my close circle of people. I mean, how does it feel like when someone is driving your? I mean, I don't even know this. Yes, so probably because I'm naturally dropping it. That's
the thing. Like, I'm not used to look at things from this angle. Like, I don't have these people. Like, what is it? That's a reality that it's not mine. But it is so inspiring. Yeah, I really wish that this inspires you to take these actions in your life. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Incredible. Yeah. Really very nice having you here. It was great also for me. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we need to have a double date.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my God.
And I'm very, very happy for any kind of woman empowering project, and especially being your guest here. And this is great experience, and really best of luck in your beginnings.
Thank you. Good. So now, as we wrap up this episode of Bench Talks, I would like to express my gratitude for tuning in. Either you're watching as a YouTube video or listening to us as a podcast episode. If you like it, don't hesitate to share it with your friends. Also follow us on Instagram or Facebook at global.women.community. You can see the links below. And always remember that you are stronger than you think. Take what you have heard today, what you learn, and apply it in your life. Keep thriving, keep growing, keep shining, and let's empower ourselves to create a better future, great world for us, and also for our kids and for the generations to come. Thank you for everything, and see you next time.
Bye.